we're back yet again, guys. Welcome to Steamcember 2020. We're on the last 5 days. I got through recording a bunch of these today, actually. I want to get these finished. It's late August now. I'd love to have all these recorded before before September actually starts, have it all done, and then I can work on other stuff like Steamcember. But I'm having a great time here, and let's keep that good time rolling with a Mortician's Tale, because aren't they just the, cheeriest people you can think of? This is the game that came in a humble bundle that I bought, along with Piku Niku. A lot of stuff that, there's a lot of stuff there that didn't really have much interest in that bundle, but Piku Niku and this game were the two that I looked at and was like, huh, yeah, maybe that'll be interesting. But I know nothing about it. I think this might be more of a storytelling kind of game than a gameplay kind of game. I like those. We'll see if you guys like those. Jury's still out, but my controller is not working, so I guess this is going to be all mouse and keyboard. I prefer not to use a mouse and keyboard when I'm recording because I feel like it's loud. It's very hearable, but... okay, September 14th at 10:15 a.m. I feel like the goose is about to walk in here and start messing everything up. Okay, now that I see your face, now it is a very different style. Okay, so we got our email there. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. From Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. I don't know many people who actually type "ya" in things, but okay, I guess, it's keeping things light since this is a very heavy job. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Matthew J., Funeral Director. Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home. Okay. So it's owned by a Rose family? This person's name is Amy Rose. This person's name is Amy Rose! Oh my gosh. Okay. Did they not know? Did they not know that that is the name of a very big video game character? Okay, well, it looks like it's Steamcember now while this game is taking place. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home, Team Rose. This is from Jen Love. Good luck, you beautiful and smart babe, you. I'm guessing this is my best friend. I guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your replies so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think that much about. I feel like that would be a theme of this kind of thing, is that people aren't good at confronting thoughts about death. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada. I had to think for a second what ON was. I'm like, that's not a US state. Oh no, it's a Canadian province. Okay, to work in a museum. Take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with an art history degree. I feel like working in a museum would be fun. Anyway, I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral's monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift / I love you / am super proud of you gift. Love you, love you, love you, Jen L. Museum curator, London Pathology Museum. She has a very professional signature. Today's tasks. Sorry, my chair keeps creaking. Oh, I can reply to these, can't I? Yeah, this one wants a reply, so I'll reply, sure thing, I'll get right to it. But first, let me actually read it, see what I'll get right to. Hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Oh, I get it, because he usually works with old dead bodies. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy Rose. Special request for mother's funeral. Dear Mia, of course we will happily oblige your request. Oh, start from the bottom here. Okay. From Mia Garcia. I guess this is the woman's daughter. We're happy to be with Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would greatly appreciated. I mean, I'd say that's a typo, but not on the game's part because in real life typos happen all the time. And we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments to be counter to the way she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. Well, I feel like they're not really her final moments because that's just her body now, but it all kind of depends on how you feel about death. Oh, there's like a whole tab I can look at, like the prices and everything. Wow, funerals are so expensive. Oh my gosh. Rough stuff. I understand if anybody's not too into this game because they've had enough terrible experiences with funerals that they don't really want to think about funerals. Anyway, oh yeah, so Amy Rose said that of course we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your request. From Funerals Monthly. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. Okay. I mean, seems morbid, but it's a real thing. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. Number 1, don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but there's a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. Number 2, don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Yeah, like, if you're the one working in a funeral, like, you shouldn't be the one drinking. Anyway. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. I mean, I guess this is to everybody, though, not just the people working. I guess this is for families, too. Or friends of families, whatever. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Number 6, dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. And number 8, they skipped number 7, okay. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even just be cooking dinner for the grieving family. There's a lot of typos in this game, oh my gosh. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and be helpful. Okay. Let's close out of that. Oh, right, I never actually responded to Amy. Let's say, sure thing, I'll get right to it. So I think doing that starts the working on body thing. You can't actually press anything to move around, so I don't know why I keep putting my hand on the keyboard. It doesn't do anything. So, yeah, I don't know how graphic this game is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to treat the material in a tasteful manner, but, yeah, I'm sure I put a content warning at the beginning just in case. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Okay. Click on the sponge and drag it over the body to clean it. Alright, so I'm just gonna clean you off, Mrs. Garcia. There, isn't that better? That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. That was easy. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it is also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. Follow the arrow to head to the funeral parlor. Alright, so let's follow the arrow here. There's a big red tub of something. Oh, wow, it's like right in the next room is the funeral. Oh my gosh. Yeah, funeral homes, man. Allie and I were just having a long talk about how weird we think funerals are, that, like, you have, like, a place that's, like, set aside to be sad in, and I think that's because, you know, we hate sadness so much that we want to go be sad somewhere, deal with our feelings, and then, like, never be there again. And that's why we don't want to do it, like, in our home or anything like that. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. So you're just gonna be sharing a lot of, like, sad thoughts, I think. We usually don't small talk a lot at these things. At least that's what I was always taught. Alright, and we got some more family here. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold at these funeral homes. These are the kinds of thoughts that I'm used to having at funerals. Not specifically pantyhose, but about what I'm wearing. I have never worn pantyhose, in case you were wondering. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit me now. And a little kid. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? That is also a feeling I can remember thinking at funerals. I have a big family, so I've been to a lot of funerals. Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain. At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. Yeah, I get it, because the embalming would kill you. Even if you weren't really dead. Paying my respects. Alright, and now I can go. I paid my respects. I talked to everybody. I thought people would want to, like, talk to me, but I guess not. Alright. 1 month later. Yes, that was easy. She's cleaning her workstation here. I don't think this is an awfully long game. I wonder if the person who made this game, or, like, if they worked in a funeral home, or if they consulted with anybody who did. Okay, Jennifer Valentine is so frustrated right now. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing... I thought your name was something else. Is it Jennifer Valentine? I thought it was... Yeah, I thought it was Jen Love. Now it's Valentine. Is Love just like a nickname she does? Anyway, a colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with Verseraptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant. So, TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. Do you like wearing a corset? Is that what they're saying? That you wear a corset? These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet am treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. I have to remember to, like, scroll down to the bottom of these to read the... Okay, so this was actually before that, but can I rant for just a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, cough, male colleagues, cough, get on my case for wearing corsets. Yeah, she does wear corsets, okay. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately. Even though dress codes are such sexist BS anyways. And, like, I hate how their misogyny gets veiled in faux concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry. I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. I kind of like the typos, though, because I feel like there would be typos in any given email. But I still don't think they were put here on purpose. Sorry, taking a drink. Drinking some water. Okay. I just want to say, I've gone on record saying this on the channel before, but people who wear corsets are badass. Like, that takes so much work. Like, if you're not good for it, it's really uncomfortable. So if you get used to wearing corsets all the time, like, way to go, girl. More power to you. Alright, I'll get to the important email last. So, we all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes. At least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people need to... Oh, this is what to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of pick-me-ups during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal, black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? I did know that, actually. Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you are wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry, and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals... I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I feel like I really should. I'm sorry. But on these kinds of funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the number one rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you. So be sure to do whatever you can do to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. Man, Funerals Monthly needs an editor, for real. Yeah, what an important statement, though. Like, this day is not about you. I can't tell you how many funerals I've been to where, like, you know, and you might be grieving in your own way and that's why you act out a little bit, but how many times I've been at a funeral and somebody just has decided that, like, they're the ones suffering the most and that everybody has to People can be jerks. Matthew Jeffrey, to you, Charlie. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving the other day, you know, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know, did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. Interesting how, like, these are told to you not in actual, like, conversations. Like, I thought there'd be, like, conversations with characters here, but no, it's all told to you in emails. I guess that makes the game easier to program. I mean, you know, indie game. This is like a little art house game. What are you gonna do? I don't know how much money they had to make this game. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Oh, wait. I was a teenager about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, you know? While we're in the procession going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know to not get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing, just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, like, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, you know? There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later, and is nothing unremarkable. And is nothing unremarkable, or do you mean it's nothing remarkable? Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? So what you mean is that it's nothing remarkable. That's a double negative there. I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Matthew J. See, that's the kind of thing that's the kind of phrase I would use a lot, nothing unremarkable, but I'd be saying that to say that something was remarkable. Okay, what's, Oh, this is from Mia Garcia. Great. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together. It was ... It meant a lot. So, what... That's another pet peeve of mine when people put ellipses into emails. Like, they're just trying to be dramatic. Like, I get why in dialogue, when you write a character's dialogue, you use ... because that's the way we talk sometimes. We, like, pause and change what we're saying. I feel like when you're writing an email, you know, you can just hit the delete key and go back. That's a pet peeve of mine, I'm sorry. Ellipses are very dramatic, and I think they should be saved for dramatic works. So, what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way, and I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Just passing this message along. Thanks for your hard work, Charlie. Alright, so let's find out about our next job. Hi, Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. All I had to do was wash it, so you know. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy. Does anybody ever just die of old age? Like, it's always like a complication of something or other, right? Anyway, nothing fancy, just the standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval, if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best, Amy Rose. P.S. Charlie dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. Alright, so let's, clicking I'll get right on it is what, changes the pace for us to work on another body. So this first one is very simple. You can see she's wearing the embalming gear now. Traditional Traditional burials typically require embalming. This is more of like an educational game. It's like teaching me a little bit more about what, like, dealing with dead bodies is like, being a mortician. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves a body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Alright, I know how to do that. Clean all the dirt off this poor man. Okay, click on the razor and drag it over the body to shave it. So this is the razor. Alright, we're just gonna... This razor has the power to push away hair. Alright, this is the part I was nervous about. Here we go. In order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Okay, I had to, like, hit all of these points. Okay, alright. Well, I can see why this doesn't let me use a controller. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each eye socket to give it shape. Alright, where are my eye caps? These are cotton balls. These are eye caps. Why do they look so spiky? Ugh. Yeah, so, like, when you see a dead body in a casket and they're sitting there with their eyes closed, they actually, like, have things on their eyes in there. It's so weird to think about. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. I'm like, this is fine. I don't mean to be such a baby, but I don't know. I'm kind of squeamish, but I mean, it's fine. It's just, you know, it is heavy stuff. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. Yep, same thing. Their mouths are full of cotton balls. To keep the mouth shut from opening, you need to suture it. This is like a really, This is like a really calm version of Trauma Center. We need the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from dying out. Alright. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. I feel like this game wouldn't really let me, like, mess up too much. Like, I don't think I could just, like, you know... Sorry, I don't want to be morbid. This game is being, like, so tasteful about its material, I feel like I don't want to make jokes, but you're going to need a tube for draining the blood. Click on the tube and drag it to the neck incision. Alright, click on the cannula and drag it onto the carotid artery. This is how you'll get the preserving chemicals into the blood screen. Okay, so I guess that's that. The carotid artery. Is that? Okay. Now you'll need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing and grab it and drag it to the cannula. I never saw that word before, cannula. It's like a big fancy syringe kind of thing. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. Alright, in order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you'll have to massage the body. Okay. Alright. You know, I just watched that episode of Breaking Bad where they rob the train, where they're taking methylamine out and they're replacing it with water, and they need to, like, do it at the same time so that like, they don't notice the weight of the train massively changing. It's kind of like that, but with an old man. Alright, well, this is pretty cool. I don't think I'm gonna become a mortician after this, but we'll sew this up. And then, almost done, you'll need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, and click and hold on the abdomen until all the liquids has drained. Is this the trocar? Alright. Almost, yeah. Okay. I like how it doesn't, like, make me, connect the tubing for this. Because, like, it's like, okay, you get tubing. You don't have to do tubing again. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duvall's makeup, as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. I feel like that would be kind of a neat part to do, though, too. If somebody also, like, did the makeup and dressing them and stuff, in-game. I feel like that would be a valuable... For the sequel, for A Mortician's Tale 2. Alright, and there is a another funeral I can go to over here. Yeah, so this one is an open casket. I'm gonna leave us in just a second, but is this guy playing a DS? Huh. Yeah, okay. Oh, I never signed the registration book last time, did I? Well, I guess the funeral director isn't necessarily supposed to do that. Okay, well, anyway, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna leave you in this very somber situation. I'm the Comic Foil. If you want to see the rest of this game, I don't think it's, incredibly long, but this could potentially be one of the winners of Steamcember. If you're interested enough, leave a comment letting me know that you want to see more. Most views, most likes, and most comments asking to see more will be the winners, and probably a fourth one if I arbitrarily decide to do a fourth one. And yeah, Steamcember continues tomorrow. I will see you then with a brand new game. Catch you later.